Jeffersonville, Indiana, September 11, 2014. The court prosecutor would challenge Oberhansly. Quote, "They stabbed her 25 times, but they only knocked you out? Why?" Unquote. Family and friends of Tammy Jo Blanton cringed at hearing the horrible details about the death of their friend. They just wanted justice at this point. Days had turned into weeks that had turned into months and ultimately years. And they were afraid Joseph Oberhansly was going to try to fall through the system of mental health. The court prosecutor continued, quote, "Tammy Jo Blanton met a fate that's very difficult to describe," unquote. Joseph Oberhansly, 36, was a definitely liar. He even blamed the crime on 2 black men, but the proof was overwhelming, and he was the obvious perpetrator. They also had psychiatrists and psychologists analyzing him over the years. A psychologist testified to finding bizarre behavior, saying he exhibited signs of mental illness, hallucinations, and extreme weight loss, all of which improved when he had taken his doctor-prescribed medicines. Others gave him mental evaluations and found no signs of insanity. On September 11, 2014, police would respond to a domestic disturbance call at 3 a.m. placed by Tammy Jo Blanton, 46. Blanton had told officers she had changed the locks on her home and wanted her ex-boyfriend to leave her property. Officers witnessed him leaving. Blanton had learned of Oberhansly's troubled past days before this vicious murder. He had spent 12 years in a Utah state prison for killing his 17-year-old girlfriend, who was the mother of his child. He also shot his mother in her back and in her arm, but luckily she survived. Oberhansly had fell into a depression when his brother and his father died within weeks of each other. He had been drinking and he had been taking various drugs to where he fell into a deep depression, took a gun, and shot himself. In a failed suicide attempt, the bullet is still lodged in his frontal lobe. He hadn't been completely honest with Tammy Jo Blanton, and at this point she just wanted the relationship to end, but it didn't seem like Oberhansly was going to take no for an answer. Officers would return later to issue a welfare check. A co-worker of Blanton's had called and said he had answered her cell phone. Upon their arrival, they witnessed Oberhansly outside the property, looking nervous, looking suspect, being very evasive. Officers said Oberhansly was non-compliant to a pat-down, and he was arrested. When they patted him down, a bloody knife was found in his pocket with hair stuck on it. While that arrest was happening, a second officer would go around the back of the house towards the back door. The officer found the back door was damaged, as if someone had forced themselves inside the house. The officer told the jury she entered the house and saw a tarp on the ground with tools on it. As she looked around, she said, quote, "There was blood everywhere," unquote. There was blood on the jigsaw, the frying pan, pair of tongs, fingernail clippers, knives, plates. There was blood everywhere. Upon further investigation in Blanton's home, she would find Blanton's bloody body in the bathtub. She was deceased. That's when the lie said about the black man that Oberhansly said he found running from the home. The case would get more gruesome. Oberhansly had stabbed her in the head, the neck, all over her body. He would cut her open with a chainsaw. He removed her organs. He removed her brain. He removed her heart. He said he ate her heart raw. He even said she is always with him. He would take her brain and one of her lungs, and he would fry them, and he would eat them too. Hearing his grueling testimony would be nightmarish to the ones that had to sit here and witness this. They even saw the gruesome crime scene photos. Is what nightmares and terror is made of. Finally, in 2020, the family and the ones that cared and loved for this woman, they would finally get their justice. Joseph Oberhansly was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Her friends was happy that this nightmare was over. Her friends and family miss her dearly. One of her friends said she was very strong. She was very independent. She really had her life together. But unfortunately, Oberhansly had entered in her life. Oberhansly's own mother, the one that he had shot, unfortunately didn't die, along with her grandchild's mother, that one. She actually said, quote, "My son isn't violent," unquote. She must have another son.